Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Hearthstone. It's not going to be a very long recording session here. We just need one more victory with the priest and 3 victories with the hunter, and that is all we need to do. Our priest is at level 60 right now, so let's start with the hunter. I'm just going to play on casual. If I get really desperate, I'm going to go play on practice. Wait time apparently is going up and up and up. Let's see, what's in our hunter deck? Brave Archer, Traps. This is mostly a standard hunter deck. Although, with the new banning, things like Brave Archer are going to eventually go away, which is going to be irritating. So do we want to take the offense and do 2 damage with this character? Or do we want to take the bear trap? I think we want to take the offense. 2 bears out, 2 boys out there to start with against a, what is this, paladin? Not a big deal. His hero ability doesn't have the ability to do 1 damage, and he really doesn't even have a spell on the second turn that can do 1 damage. This in the turn. Darn it. I feel like I kind of walked right into that, didn't I?
Not on my watch.
I need to take this card out for sure. So do I want to summon a random beast companion and then, or do this and risk it?
Job's done.
And fail. Darn it.
I feel icky.
Reporting for duty.
I'm gonna have an odd experience, I think, tomorrow in my time, in which I will
The beasts obey me.
not really, in theory I shouldn't do any recording at all, but I probably will. I'll be waiting for a package basically. That's very important to, I get it. It's not even a package for me, but might as well be waiting for the cable guy. Oh, and my dish sent me a nice letter, which I recall getting a nice letter last year that said the same thing, and I recall getting the same letter maybe the year before, where the dish's base core package was going to cost $5 more, $5 more, $5 more. It's ridiculous. It's up to like $150, $160 every month. And I don't even watch it. I don't even watch it. If it was up to me, I would get rid of Dish. And I am definitely trying to work my way towards that. But yeah, that sucks. It really sucks. And the Roku, I don't know how how much of the Roku's abilities will disappear if I cut off dish or drop it down to a basic package. Just the most basic of most basic packages, I think, even would cost us quite a lot of money, and it's really just a middle step to get rid of it. Unlike a lot of people who think about cord cutting, they then go, well, a la carte, we'll just buy it again and again. But for me, cord cutting is, personally for me, it's more just, I'm just not gonna watch any of those things, so I'm not gonna a la carte HBO on. I do Netflix and Amazon Prime, which is not really that worth it, and Hulu, which is not really that worth it to me. If I was gonna just take Netflix, I'd be fine. I watched With Bob and Dave, which is the same creators, or most of the creators from Mr. Show, getting back together and doing a comedic sketch series. They only did like 4 episodes in the first season, and then the 5th one is kind of a documentary of the creation of it, and it's strange that that's episode 5 and not like episode 1. It's also strange that it's just labeled as an episode and there's no jokes or comedy in it. You would think. I spent a long portion of the 5th episode thinking, oh, they're gonna turn this around and make this funny somehow, and they never did. There was no joke in it. It really was just kind of a behind-the-scenes look at the creation of the show. It had some moderately funny bits. Nothing super good. It's kind of like Saturday Night Live. It has the same issue as, in reality, you have to go forever before you actually have enough footage for people to have a general nostalgia. It's kind of like Doctor Who too. It's like Doctor Who shovels out garbage episode after garbage episode, but there's enough good ones in between that people like the series. At least that's my opinion on it. Let's see. Heal. Draw this.
Face the light.
And because With Bob and Dave didn't turn that out, like, I've seen, I think, all of Mr. Show, but I recall like one sketch from it. But I generally recall I liked the show. But how much can I really say I liked it? I can't really say, because of simple facts of I don't remember any of the sketches. Job done. Was there something else I was watching? I was killing time waiting for somebody else, so I was watching Britain's Great Bake Off. But that's... I was hardly watching that for a legitimate reason. It's not like I would have picked to watch that if all my time was my own. What happens to me a lot is my Netflix is just full of horror and anime and violence and like action kung fu things, and none of it is really safe for work. None of it's really safe for kids. I just don't choose or enjoy to watch those types of shows that are kids. Although I do watch like The Flash and iZombie, which those are kind of kiddie shows, I would say. But I don't watch I watch The Flash noon, not on Netflix. It would be a slight adjustment to watch it on there. I'm watching Agent Carter, but again, that's kind of even that's kind of mature. Point being is that often I'll just go through my Netflix thing and say I want to have something on TV right now, but I know somebody's gonna walk in, and I don't want them to see what I normally watch, because then they would probably get all uppity about it and complain. Which is to say, there's people in my life, sadly, that are just not cool. That they don't understand. Quite a lot of people in my life that would potentially see my Netflix and stuff, they don't understand the difference between fiction and reality. And that means they're crazy, but they're not like raving lunatic, I could put them in an asylum crazy. They're just normal person crazy, because a lot of people don't realize that fiction is fiction and it can't hurt you. They will literally have argued to me that things you watch on TV will get in your head and infect you and make you sick in the head. And I'm like, well, if that is the case, that happened decades ago. It's like, but right now I have to assume I'm as sane as I've ever been. So, but I often am amazed. I'll ask people if they watch horror things or not. I'll use that as my door, and sometimes I'm wrong. So it's still a growing conjecture. I wouldn't even call it a hypothesis, but it's a growing conjecture. When I run into people and I say, "What do you watch horror movies?" and then a lot of them will say no, they scare me, and I'm like, how can horror movies really scare you? And because I'm asking adults this, I'm not saying I'm asking little kids. Little kids, I get, they don't know the difference between fiction and reality. But when I ask adults, no, of course I have been shocked. I've run into a couple of people who say, yes, I love horror movies. I watch it with my husband all the time, or I watch it with my wife all the time, which is then doubly shocking when there's two people that are watching them and not. And generally, I won't ask this question immediately because that's kind of not directed information. So I'm probably doing some bad science here by not doing some blind polling. But I will ask this after I've gotten the sense that the person may very well be the type of person that has like no edge in them. They think everything has to be light and airy. People that would watch things like Seventh Heaven, they wouldn't watch anything on Fox, basically. And as far as the primetime shows these days, there's less and less interesting, or less and less on TV at all that caters to that. Do this, we'll do
Today,
this.
I don't have to be a princess.
Let's just go ahead and kill that one, attack that one, and then return. So yes, when I think or when I'm watching TV with someone else, I will just go to cooking shows. I do actually enjoy cooking shows. It's not just a giant facade. I like Master Chef, I like Hell's Kitchen, which has a little bit of has more of edge to it because you're just yelling at people, making them while they're cooking. Which, if I was ever on like Hell's Kitchen or something, I would quit immediately, and I'd be like, it's not worth it. You're ruining my love for cooking. Which even the nice shows that aren't Hell's Kitchen, like America's Worst Baker, is a newish series I've been watching, and they're trying to teach them how to cook, but they're still asking them to do way more than what I could do. There's just a level of ability there that I just don't have. I can cook maybe a handful of things, but I don't think I would be qualified to even be on a TV series of America's Worst Cooks, because I just don't have the skills. They have them use like mandolins and chopping things, and I just don't like the thought of that at all. I don't want to use a mandolin and slice onions and potentially cut myself, or chop things and potentially cut myself. So I stick to the rivers and streams that I know, basically, as far as cooking is concerned. To quote TLC, I'm going to embark on an experiment in trying to eat less in a small diet. And they say when you say this, you shouldn't tell people that you're going on a diet, because then your mind gets the satisfaction and the reward by telling people that it doesn't deserve, and you're less likely to actually stick to it. But I personally have this thing where I'm just always hungry. Or I guess I'm not always hungry.
Today,
That'd be the wrong
I don't
thing
have
to
to
say.
be a princess.
Down the one. But what happens is I'm not hungry when I wake up. I can go, and I am actually today going probably 4 to 5 hours without eating. And then when I'm actually hungry, I will feel like I'm starving, and then I will eat way too much, like
Well
way too much, and I'm certainly not getting younger, so it's only making things worse. And then I'll eat way too much, and I'll feel full, and I just got the quest for the priest. This game is so buggy. Win 3 games for 100. It's one behind. That was just a 100 victory, and it gave me the priest victory. Well, we're at 6,680. So I would have to eat like 2 or 3 times as much food as I should before I start feeling really stuffed. I saw a commercial on TV calling it binge eating disorder, which is probably what I have. But, you know, that might be a made up diagnosis. It almost certainly is. Like, halitosis is technically a made up disease that was just invented by Listerine 80 years ago to sell Listerine was a floor cleaning product, and they started selling it with really no regulation or nobody stopping them as a mouth cleaning product. That's ridiculous. On that issue, I think I've said it before, but I've only ever met one person that I have gotten close enough to that I've thought they had bad breath. And that person was drinking really strong coffee right before it, and then just exhaling that smell of really strong coffee And that person was a complete and total jerk, so there's no saying that there really is no guessing that he might have just been intentionally drinking really strong coffee and blowing it in my face. So I would not put anything past this person. I would not meet him in a dark alley for fear that one of us didn't leave that alley. But anyways, the point is, everyone else is fine. If you just ate something and I can smell what you just ate, I'm like, well, whatever. So, does that really matter? Here. Hope this works. It kinda works. So Hunter versus Hunter, the worst thing that could happen right now would be an explosive trap. Best thing that could happen is I could play this and then play this. Play this over here, play this one in between these two, then take out whatever he puts out. This, how do we want to do this?
Oh, shoot.
There we go.
Job's done.
In the turn. But yeah, so like I usually eat a whole pizza or almost all of a whole pizza just because that's what's in front of me. So my new theory, my new attempt here is I'm gonna take the frozen pizza before I cook it. Cut it in half right then and there. Only cook half of it. And then from that point, let's see, how can we do this? I guess we can do this. So that's explosive trap. We're gonna go ahead and do this. Yeah, this is almost certainly explosive trap, so all three of these are going bye-bye. That gets me a 10-4. 10-4, good buddy. Radio lingo. I don't know how I could cut other things in half, but I could certainly try. Normal things usually don't work too well for me. Thoughts like, oh, just eat half and then get another bowl. I just devour food. It's decades and decades of probably overeating, being very hungry. If I had been diagnosed with the binge eating disorder as a child or something, that would have been nice. So there we go. Victory is mine. If they'd give me medication for it, that would have been nice. Although, it's probably not that likely that you would give diet pills to a little kid or even a teenager. But for me, in particular, it probably was called for. I've always been very chubby, at least. Here I am describing myself, but whatever.
You asked for it.
I've always been very tall and very chubby, so I've never been tall and skinny. And that's mostly just me because because my siblings were skinny when they were kids,
Job done.
and they only got fat once they got married and had kids. But mostly they only got fat because they got married and had to start feeding themselves on their own income and didn't know what to do. There's a whole pile of information that parents don't teach their kids and schools don't teach kids. You're woefully underprepared for reality and just how to
Today, I don't have to be a princess.
how to
Job done.
take care of yourself and manage. And if you go to college, it kind of helps, but it kind of doesn't. College is kind of like a 4-year buffer to screw up with and try and figure out how finances work somewhat, while not actually having full control of your finances. And well, I don't know what I want to do here. I think I'll just leave things as they stand. But, and it's the same thing in college. You don't feed yourself particularly in college. You get choices on food, but if you have a cafeteria ticket system, then that's what you're gonna eat. And all of those things really should have been taught like decades earlier. Honestly, you should be teaching your like 4-year-olds how to make sandwiches. You should be taking them to the grocery and having them run up how much things are gonna cost. Like run a running count of the bill by the time they're like 6, 7, or 8. I mean, not only would that help them with their math that they're going to have to learn, it starts to show them that food's kind of expensive. Yeah, we've got some stuff to play here. Well, we have actually nothing to play, so we'll just play some ranked warlock since we have gotten the priest all the way up to level 60. We'll finish out this recording and that will be the end of this session. But yeah, finances, taxes.
Gul'dan versus
I think
Rexa.
you should probably be teaching your high school kids. If you have kids in high school, you should probably be teaching them how to do taxes right then, and they definitely should be working. A lot more should be expected from kids, and a lot more should be taught to them. You should have them understand why it's important to go to like doctor's appointments, annual checkups. You should have them understand how much work it is to deal with the whole medical industry. Just so when they when they go out on their own and they have their first real job, full-time job, they know how dire their situation is with the finances, and they know that do I want to kill this guy? Nah, I'll just hit this guy. Interesting. Oops.
Job done.
That was a mistake. I thought I was going to throw the coin out and throw him back, but I forgot the freezing trap didn't work that way. Let's see, do I want to play this guy? Let's play this guy. In the turn, I think if we play both of these characters, that works kind of nice.
To my side.
Say he takes out this guy and does 2 to my face. Oh well. I'll play this one and then maybe draw another card. That's interesting. Here we go. Are we ready? Shame I can't get this guy on the field any earlier. Let's do this. Is having a bit of a debate there whether that was the right move. I'm not sure it was or not. But then again, back to the conversation, I cannot blame my unhealthiness on becoming an adult and then downsliding into that. I've been unhealthy way before then.
Magic detected.
Practically, I think all of my life, as far as I can remember back, I was probably overweight even like when I was born. I think that was the case. Yeah. So it probably goes right back to the diet of my mother was probably bad and set me down a path even before being born, which then just goes a generation back and says her parents didn't teach her how to take care of herself, and that's unquestionably true. Which then goes back another generation, which then goes back another generation, and we can just go back ad infinitum, which I believe is the phrase, infinitely. And the sad thing is that knowledge gets passed down, but bits of knowledge get forgotten, and that's usually a bad thing. Bits of knowledge also get discovered again, so there's certainly many things that are true that weren't true, and things that we now know are true that were always true, that are getting added to people's knowledge. Hopefully it's useful knowledge and not just people filling their heads with unimportant facts. Of course, whether a fact is important or not is a question in itself.
Job's done.
Yep. So, like I said at the beginning of last recording, there's not a lot going on in my life. Just playing Dead Island, man. I just want to get that done. This whole new recording style of having everything recorded. Let's see.
Right on time.
Having everything or trying to have everything recorded before I go on to the next game. It has been working a lot better than trying to have groups of things. I haven't done any scheduling in a while. As some of my podcasts were canceled, and so I've just been listening to other podcasts and not working. It's been a lazy past week, I guess. So I need to do some more scheduling, but with particularly with Dead Island, a game that is our closest step yet to something like Borderlands. I'm getting several hours of footage here, and I'm not even halfway through with the game. And I'm a little surprised by that. Not super surprised by it, because we kind of knew that was going to happen. There we go. Yeah, I don't know how he survives this one. We'll play one more game, and then that's going to be the end of this recording session. The big difference between Dead Island and Borderlands, though, is I'm going to enjoy Borderlands, hopefully. That would be really bad if I didn't enjoy it. I'm not sure I really can do what I thought it was hoping to do, which was to do all the quests separate and label everything real nicely. I'm certainly not doing that with Dead Island. It's just going to be episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. Is he going to win? For a second there, I felt like he was going to win. I was like, wait, that doesn't make any sense.
Running the program. Enjoy. I'll fix you.
That came a little closer than it should have. But whatever. It's not like this mech deck. It's fun. It's a fun deck. I don't know if it's really the best deck ever. Man, if I could just get to rank 19. That's all I want. Is one more rank. And it's ridiculously difficult. Now, I may change my opinion drastically. I shouldn't have formed an opinion even. Yeah, anyways, about the whole standard wild thing. But right now we effectively are playing in wild. If with the introduction of standard play, it turns out that it is way easier to get up in the ranks of either, which might be the case because if you split half the player base on standard and half the player base on wild, you could potentially do something like that and make it half as difficult to go up in the ranks. I don't know if that's really the case though, because the ranking system here is a little bit different. The way it works is an infinite number of players could be rank 1. All the players could be at rank 1.
Ready for action.
They're not actually being ranked. It's not until you get to the legendary rank. So maybe legendary is rank 1. So I know an infinite number of players could be rank 2 if we adjust to that thought. I guess this is just going to be a stall maneuver. We'll just wait here and wait until they kill these two characters. That'll take them 4 turns. Because when you get a win, you go up. That's just how it goes. Until you're at legendary. When you're at legendary, your rank fluctuates wildly. Let's see. What do I want? Anti-Keelbot. I don't need that. I don't really need that. I'll take this, I guess. And then end the turn. So now I can turn things around. Well, I almost could. Spending his cards. Give a friendly minion +1/+1. I could do that.
Right on time.
Guess that works. Is it dangerous to have a damaged character against a mage? Yes, I guess it is. Particularly my own against the priest deck, not mage. But looking at the cards he's playing, he's not playing the type of deck I would be playing.
Powering up. Portals online.
At the end of this. Let's see. Yeah, I'll take a fell cannon. If you don't mind, I will play this. I will play this. Attack the base. End the turn. If I could have just discovered the one that forms Voltron, that's the one I really would like to get.
The gates are open.
But what's the whole point? As soon as all these cards get banned, we're in this very strange quagmire. Let's see.
Yes, me and Mr. Fight.
That didn't even work, alright. How do we want to take this guy out? I guess we'll just do this. It'll be interesting.
Stay on target. Stay on target. Engage.
Ended up damaging myself. Oops. That is a big oops. Well, next turn I think we're going to play Jeeves.
Locked and loaded. Squire, attend me.
Ready, sir.
That really was about the worst play I could have possibly done.
Stay on target. Stay on target.
Next turn we play two of these, and hopefully Jeeves will still be alive. Wow, I'm like single-handedly just eliminating my own team.
I'm flying.
It's ridiculous. That was just bad play. Bad play. +300 episodes in and I'm still not good at this game. A more realistic person would probably, oh, I don't know, give up at some point.
Job's done.
That would be, I think, a realistic thing to do. But no, not me. I'll just keep on going. Hearthstone, it really has been a godsend as far as just channel filler, having more things to put up. I saw some numbers of like what they thought the length of an episode was and how often people put up videos, and I'm like, that's not been my experience. The people I watch, they were saying people put up an episode like 3 or 4 times a week, and I'm like, no man, you gotta put up 2 or 3 things a day.
Job's done.
That's what I see other people do. At this point, for all the other things I am recording, I usually one of my episodes will come out on my stream, my newsfeed with YouTube, and then 2, maybe 4 or 5 things will come out within that, after that hour, and then the next thing will come out. But usually it's about 2. Now the only real gap that I'm not approaching and filling there is the gap in the early morning.
Job done.
Early morning stuff's not really getting filled in, and it does feel like some people start at like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning and start releasing things. Nobody really releases things late at night. I don't understand the early morning thought. Almost, if I was gonna start releasing things early morning, I might release them at like 4 or 5 in the morning, but that nobody seems to do that, so there's probably not an audience there. I just don't really imagine that there is people are going to their works or their schools and then immediately checking YouTube. But maybe they are. Maybe there are people that are doing that. It's kind of hard to tell. Well, now we're gonna see what we can do. So I can play this guy for 9-9. But if they kill all my other guys, he's gone too, and it feels like they're gonna kill all my other guys. Let's see, play this, attack this, draw a card,
Job's done.
end the turn. Yeah, I think this is gonna turn around. Interesting. So he wants to clear the field. So there's no reason to play any of these cards, really. Do this, attack this, and end the turn.
I am not a morning person.
This.
I can fix anything.
This.
I got the big punch.
And
Untie.
this.
Job's done.
But I've lost. Oh well. Well, that's gonna be it for this episode. Might as well start wrapping up. As always, I want to come and look and see where we're at. Made it to a new level. 6,740. Can't do the arena run. So we can do 17 card packs extra of something. And I don't know if it's going to be the new expansion or just 17 more card packs of the new expansion, or if it's going to be 17 classic card packs, or if it's going to be 17 Goblins versus Nelmsguard packs. Probably would be Classic, if I was to guess. But I still have some time to think about that. Anywho, that's it for this recording session. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps me out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.